left just when we added our first ID in our database, which was quite cool. So now we won't like to see all our IDs. For example, if I add a new one, for example ID number 2, and this is also an amazing ID, the author is still myself, and now if I send, okay, I have ID number 2 and this is cool, but I cannot see my IDs, like all of them together. So now we have to create a route, which is a get, to get all the IDs. So let's go ahead and create it. So okay, so we have again our IDs route with the get this time, and this is a function, again taking a request and a response. And what we want is that it goes to ID and it finds actually all of them, so just need to find. So here the function takes an error and actually our IDs. So again, if you have an error, we will just send to the response an error. Nope. And if not, then we'll send the JSON object of our IDs. So now I guess that when I'll go on the IDs but I will not post, I will get, this time I get my 2 IDs. Perfect, it's working. But what now if you want only one ID? If I want to get only, for example, ID number 1 without number 2, for example, to display on one page, which will be the details of this ID, how do I get it? So we have to create a new route, which will take a parameter, and to display, to have a parameter in a route, we just need to add these 2 dots there. So let's create it. So ID as route. So get again. No, sorry. We have to create a new route. So idea route, which is a new router dot root, and this time is slash IDs slash ID. So now we need to create a get from this endpoint. So from the ID root we have this get, and this will take the parameter of the BRID. So here it's like idea ID, and the function that takes an error. Oops, I made a mistake. Again, the get is just taking a request and a response, as always. Then what do we want is to find by ID one ID. There's too much ID in the same sentence, but yeah, whatever. So ID find by ID, and here we use the from the request parameter of idea ID. This is a function with an arrow, and it will get also the ID we want. So if you have an error, again, we just send it to the response like this, and if there is not, then just send it as a JSON object with the ID. So now I saved, and with Postman I'll take the ID, for example, of this first ID, and now I'll go here on these IDs and slash the ID of my ID, and if I get it, if I send, I just get one, and this is exactly what I wanted. So again, it's working and it's cool. Okay, so let's go ahead, and now we want maybe to update an ID, which could be nice. For example, if somebody made a mistake and this is not an amazing ID, but it's just a normal ID, he will maybe want to update it. And let's see how to do this. So to have an update, we have this endpoint, which is a put. So let's go again from the same root, because this is only one ID that we will update. Then idea root dot put. This time, this is a function that takes a request and a response. And now we'll have ID. We'll again try to find by ID the one we want to modify. So again, request params, and this is idea ID, and this is a function with an error and the ID. So we have the same thing. So if we have an error again, if we don't find the ID, we want to send an error to the response. So send error like this. But if we have it, we want to maybe update, let's say, only the description. So id does description. So we want to say that it's equal to the request, to the body of the request, and the description of it. And again, we need to save it. And save function take on an error. You can only have an error, otherwise it's a success. So if we have an error, we just again send the error to the response. And otherwise, we'll just send a JSON object of the new ID we have. So now this is cool. Let's go on Postman and try again. So now I don't do get or post, but I do a put with the same ID. And in the body, I will delete these two and say this is a normal ID. So now if I send it, this has been updated, and now if I get it, this is normal ID. If I get all of them, I have again this ID number 1, which we just updated, which is cool, and the second ID, which has not been updated. So everything works fine. Okay, let's continue now. Now we want, maybe somebody was like, okay, this is a good idea, but finally I don't want to publish it. I want just to delete it. I don't like it, so I will just delete it. So we need to delete an ID, and yeah, an ID. So to do that, we need to make a new endpoint, which the delete endpoint. So let's go create it. So again, we take this idea root, and then this is a delete. And this is a function, again with a request and the response. And now we will go on ID, and we have this really cool function. This is find by ID and remove. That is really easy to understand. It goes take the ID and we will just remove it. A mistake here. Okay. So here it will go take the ID which is from the parameter. ID, and this is the function with an error. Again, if we have an error, we'll send it to the response. This is like automatic. When you create any endpoint, you have always this if error, then response send error. This comes like all the time. So our message will be simple. This ID has been removed. And that's it. Oops. Better at that. So let's try to remove our normal ID, because it's just a normal and we want only amazing IDs. So how to delete it now? I go again on this endpoint, but I don't do nor get post puts, but I will do a delete like this. Now when I send it, I have an error. Find by ID and remove. What is wrong with this? Ah, yeah, I'm stupid. I confuse ID and ID. Idea and ID. Okay, so now if I do it again, message this ID has been removed. And we can check it out. Use the get of all the IDs, send, and we only have the second one, which is an amazing one. So we are kind of happy. And we have our the beginning of our code application. So I will stop again the YouTube video here and continue a bit later.